All right, my name's Kindsi. I've been at Kalos for about 3.5 years, and I'm going to share a bit of my personal story that got me to this stage, literally, and I guess in life. So I grew up in a Christian family for as many generations back as I've heard about, at least. My great-grandfather on my dad's side was a full-time, long-term missionary. My great-grandfather and family on my mom's side were musicians and touring worship leaders for tent revivals. And even before I was born, my mom had a dream where an angel told her my life verse, which is Philippians 1:6, that God had begun a good work in her and would be faithful to complete it. So I've had this rich legacy with the Lord. And when it comes to my calling to worship, it's been a little bit tumultuous. I actually went through about 10 years of intense stage fright where I wouldn't sing in front of anybody, I wouldn't get up on a stage, and I was just like terrified anytime I tried. And there was this fear that I just was resisting breaking through, and God just brought me on a crazy journey to overcome that with lots of help from different people. And I realized the core of my fear had come from twisting this phrase that I heard growing up where people would say, God doesn't call the equipped, he equips the called, or something like that, where I took that as anything that I enjoy or feel like I delight in, God will never use. And he will always ask me to give up anything that I find joy in. And down the line, as I was reflecting on this, I had a pastor that was reading Psalm 37, 4-5, which is, delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart. And he flipped that and was expressing how it's not just that as you chase the Lord, he'll give you everything that you want, but that the desires that he's put on your heart are also from him and for his glory and for his kingdom. So years later, there was a point where I was like begging God. I was like, please, God, like use me in this way. I'm just like want to be used in worship or in ministry. And I felt like the Lord was like, Kindsi, you're treating your calling to worship like a dream that you have to strive for, but it's actually a mandate, and I'm not giving up on it. And something about hearing the Lord just be like, this is my dream too, just released this fear of like having to fight for something that I thought I was having to like convince God to give me. And he was like, I already gave you this dream and I will be faithful to complete it. So I just encourage you that as you go into this season of prayer and fasting, to like ask God what the dreams are that he has for your life, that he is committed to alongside you, and that he wants to show up where you find joy, and see what he does.
Amen. Thank you for sharing such a powerful testimony.